to call it the 10 commandments of sleep. Okay? There really is no magic pill or no magic yoga pose, but we've got to work along. And the 10 commandments really include keeping a strict schedule, weekday and weekend, which is tougher than you think, okay? Making sure that your environment is conducive. You've heard a lot of talk today about the mattress, right? So that too included. But let's think about the other things, light, sound, temperature. All of this plays a role into our sleep parameters. Making sure that we don't spend excessive time in bed, like sleep restriction. Okay, making sure we don't eat, we eat right, we exercise right, we don't abuse our bodies with alcohol and nicotine, especially closer to our bedtime. We don't take excessive daytime naps. So we have to keep working on it. Sleep is a work in progress, you know. As regards to foods, yes, we do see a lot of interest into this. So we have to eat healthy to be healthy, right? And that has a big boost on our immunity. But certain minerals and vitamins play an important and key role in sleep quality, like calcium, magnesium, ferritin, iron is a big one, okay? Folate, vitamin B12, all of these, and vitamin D as well, they play a role into the sleep physiology because they are pathways in a transmitter, like a neurotransmitter that we call melatonin. And in the process of it, it's important. So tryptophan producing products or things that you can find in the grocery store, and I mean like natural vegetables, dry fruits, milk, all of these are conducive to increase the quality of your sleep.
Fantastic. Doctors, it's normally people felt that with a lot of exercise and lack of sleep is still a good way of being healthy. And
well, I think later on our achievers will tell us that's not from the contrary, but I think any sports physician, any sports personality will acknowledge that without sleep, their activity and their performance will surely be subpar.
Doctor, you might be getting too many patients in terms of, I hope there are not too many, but maybe there are too many. But the thing is, what are the top 5 or 10 ill effects of people who are not sleeping well? What are the reasons they come to you for?
So it really is a varied range of disorder, like symptomatology that sleep problems present, and I think that's one of the hard factors because it's not necessary that the patient will come to a sleep physician. They'll go to the general physician, cardiologist, a neurologist, a lung doctor. So they will go to different walks of specialities of doctors. So they can present with something as subtle as a lack of, we call this term absenteeism, where a young adult individual is working, but they realize that they're not as productive. There's a lack of concentration, lack of memory, lack of immunity, more infections. Then sometimes there's excessive daytime sleepiness, which is a very common presentation. That can be very dangerous if you have an impaired psychomotor vigilance response and say you're a pilot or you're a truck driver. It can be embarrassing if you fall asleep in a meeting or if you're driving. So all of these are different ways in which the person can present, either neurocognitively or cardiovascular. You can have increased blood pressure, poor glycemic control. And we know that on all-cause mortality, so even not just morbidity, but all-cause mortality is higher when your sleep is inefficient and suboptimal.
Awesome. I mean, that's.
I had a question, doctor.
Sure.
Some of them say that they catch up on the 8 hours by doing 1 hour in the train in Bombay when people are traveling long distances, or in the bus, and 1 hour during the meetings if they are not interested in the meeting, so they see them napping, and maybe 1 hour going, and then we say another 4 hours in the night is good enough, so I've got 7 hours. So is that something that is acceptable for the body or from the medical science, or it's a continuous level?
So I actually like the whole concept of the sleep at 10 drive that Godrej is promoting. And why is that? Because for us, our sleep to be optimal, we need to have a synchronization of your homeostatic and your circadian drive. And just to explain that, circadian is our day-night cycle that's set by the light, and for homeostatic is our need for sleep, which builds up a substance known as adenosine that Starbucks effectively with the caffeine attacks. Okay, so that's what we use to improve our brain acumen. But when we have a synchrony of both, that's the optimal for hormone release. And that's how our body rejuvenates and restores and memory encodes. So when you have a child who is not sleeping enough, it will affect their growth spurt, they will not be as attentive, may present as hyperactivity, and so on and so forth. So definitely at every given moment, sleep is important for brain maturation.
Fantastic. Now let me plug in our product here. Where does a mattress fit in here? I mean, how important is a nice and a good cozy mattress in terms of this entire story that you
Well, I think the mattress does play an important role, and that's because, especially if I can recall some of my patients who suffer from chronic pain. Okay, I have a patient who had the chronic pain syndrome, and she also had chronic fatigue and a fibromyalgia kind of scenario, where I think changing to a firmer mattress helps her. Now, how does pain translate into sleep? So the sleep architecture itself will change when you're suffering from a pain syndrome, and we get a different kind of waveform, which is an alpha-delta pattern, not as restorative. So from that angle, not too soft, not too hard, ideal, personal choice, but yes, it does play an important role. And hypoallergenic if possible.
Awesome. Well, Madhur, I have a question for you. I mean, how is sleep at 10 going to be beneficial for all of us? If you can throw some light on that before we get into launching the...
I think Doc has really elaborated the need for the sleep, and how sleep at 10 is going to be an important element of it. Continuous sleep being relevant rather than the cat naps that we all have been used to.
Right, naps are good, but they need to be at the right time.
Right time.
And I think they summarize this really well in this book. Godrej has put together a little snippets about sleep, so share it with your friends and loved ones because it's only going to promote their health.
So please do take these books when you go along. So Sujit, coming back to your thing, sleep at 10 is a phenomena which we want to promote it, and I think what we also have come out with is something called a sleep meter.
Oh.
And that would help people understand whether they are getting adequate sleep or not.
So you will
more
say a
directional
sleepometer which you put in some responses gives you
So
where you
give
stand in terms of your
responses,
sleep
and it's a
patterns.
directional thing because it's, as she's elaborated, sleep is a phenomenon of many things. But this would give a little direction to say that yes, are we getting adequate sleep or we are not getting adequate sleep? And that's why I think it's important that people around, our customers, will have this also available at our stores, different points where customers can go and do it. And I think it's important to launch this.
Let's do that. I mean,
Let's launch it with who else could be better than Geeta Phogat, who is the Olympian, who is the most disciplined life, and who is with us today. So I would like to invite Geeta Phogat on the stage.
Let's invite Geeta Phogat with all of you. Geeta Phogat is a freestyle wrestler who won India's first ever gold medal in wrestling at the Commonwealth. Let's hear it out for Geeta.
This side.